20 vision. The man in the text today was a blind man. He was blind from birth. That's good. He was blind from birth. And the thing that I noticed, that anybody that know anything about blind folk know that their sense of sight is weak, but yet their sense of smell, their sense of hearing, their sense of touch, their sense of taste is strong. I can testify to the fact because I have a sister that is blind. I have a brother that is partially blind. And I discovered that my sister can see me even when I didn't think that she was seeing me. I remember times when I would go into the room and she would be I would be in the room and she would be over in a certain area of the room, and I wouldn't think that she saw me. She said, "Yeah, I know you over there." And she would take off her shoe and throw it in the direction in which I was in, because I thought because she was blind that she couldn't see me. But I've come to submit unto you that blind people can see. Join me for a few moments as we look together at this blind man that had 20 vision. First of all, this record is recorded in the Gospel of Mark because I like what Mark says as it relates to this great ceremonious celebration as Jesus is healing the sick, and he's centered around him raising the dead. And in this particular passage we find that he comes in contact with a man. Now, first thing that I see in this text is his pitiful condition. His pitiful condition. What was pitiful about this man? Well, he was blind. He was blind. Apparently this condition was one in which he had been born. Blindness, if you know anything about the old days, it was a common condition in the Bible times because of various diseases and sanitary conditions. So this man was blind. But not only was he blind, but he was a beggar. He was a beggar. Because of his physical condition, Bartimaeus was prevented from finding and performing a job in order to earn a living. He was blind, and not only was he blind, but he was a beggar. But then not only was he blind, and not only was he a beggar in his pitiful condition, but the record tells us in verse number 47 that when he heard that Jesus, and that's where you ought to shout right there. When he heard that Jesus of Nazareth, he began to cry out and say, "Jesus, thou son of David, have mercy on me." And the record says, and many, turn this down if you would, charged him that he should hold his peace, but he cried the more a great deal, "Thou son of David, have mercy on me." He says here in verse, go back up, and Jesus stood still and commanded him to be called. And they called the blind man, said unto him, "Be of good comfort." It's in your Bible, he hadn't torn it out. He says, "Arise, he calleth thee." Not only do I see his pitiful condition, but second of all, I see his persistent cry. Notice in the text that the more the people told him to be quiet, the louder he got. And the louder he got, Jesus heard him. The more they told him to be quiet, the louder he got. And the louder he got, Jesus heard him. You're going to catch it on your way down 87th Street. When they told him to be quiet, he got louder. And when they got louder, Jesus heard him. That brings us to the question tonight: how bad do you want it? How persistent will you be when it comes to getting in contact with Jesus? Not only do I see his pitiful condition and his persistent cry, even though Bartimaeus was blind, but he was able to see things that others all around him could not see. What was it that he saw? He saw Jesus. I want to pose this question today as I prepare to hasten, because I got to get to a play. How bad do you want to see Jesus? Come on, just ask your neighbor, how bad do you want to see Jesus? In his persistent cry, he recognized who Jesus was. Yet he recognized who Jesus was. Not only did he recognize who Jesus was, but he realized what Jesus could do. Yet he recognized and then he realized. And he repeated the cry. And when he repeated the cry, he received a response. They told him to be quiet, but he got loud. And the louder he got, Jesus heard him. Not only do I see his pitiful condition, not only do I see his persistent cry, but then thirdly, I see his personal cost. It cost this man to get to Jesus. And I want to submit unto you today that whatever you're trying to do to get to Jesus, it's going to cost you something. Amen. Come on, slap your neighbor, high five, and tell him, neighbor, it's going to cost you something. Oh yes, salvation is free, but it's not cheap. It's going to cost you something. When I started on this journey, I've been preaching now 25 years. I started pastoring at the age of 18, and when I started on this journey, I remember that I had many friends that started out with me, but I've determined that I still have a charge to keep, and I've got a God to glorify. Never dying soul to save and to fit it for the sky to serve this present age. My calling to fulfill all my power engaged just to do my Master's will. I see this man in his pitiful condition. He was blind, then he was begging. Then second of all, I see his persistent cry. He recognized who Jesus was. He realized what Jesus could do. He repeated the cry and he received a response. And then I saw his personal cost. It's right here in verse number 50. And he casting away his garment. The text said, rose and came to Jesus. You got to throw off some things that may seem valuable to you in order for you to get to Jesus. You know, if you want something in life that you never had, you got to do something that you never done. That means that you got to learn how to follow Jesus. No, I looked at it because it makes me feel happy, because he had even a cost, a personal cost in his life. But then because of his personal cost, Bartimaeus had a powerful cure. A powerful cure. I'm getting ready to go. I don't know what you come to listen to, but I'm getting ready to go. I've got to get out of here. But he has a powerful cure. Look at verse number 51. It says, and Jesus answered, said unto him, what wilt thou have me to do unto thee? The blind man said unto him, Lord, that I might receive my sight. The Bible said, and Jesus said unto him, go thy way, thy faith had made thee whole. This man, when Bartimaeus came to Jesus, he was asked a very important question. And that question that was asked by Jesus simply was, what would thou have me to do? And the record said that the blind man said unto him, Lord, that I might receive my sight. This man in the text, he had a powerful cure. And I can see Bartimaeus as he's getting ready to get to Jesus. I see Bartimaeus as he getting ready to cry unto the Lord. Jesus said unto him, go thy way, thy faith hath made thee whole. And so tonight as I prepare to close, C-sharp, I thought that I would tell you about this blind man that had the 20/20 vision. Not only did he have his pitiful condition, not only did he have his persistent cry, not only did he have his personal cost, and not only did he have his powerful cure, but Jesus, he told him to go that way. That means that he had a preferred in your life, yeah, you ought to run and tell somebody, yeah, if the Lord has done anything for you, yeah, you ought not be too mean to tell somebody that Jesus is a healer. Well, what you got to do is have a little faith. Touch your neighbor and say, neighbor, that's all you need. If you want a miracle in your life, you got to have just a little faith. Now, faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. Now, you look at the word substance. Sub means to go under. And since I've been in Chicago, they have what they call the subway. Yeah, it goes under the street. Out in the ocean, they have a submarine that goes under the water. Yeah, when I was in school, when the teacher didn't show up, they had a substitute. Yeah, then you have stand. Stand simply means that you're standing. So what is faith? Faith simply means I got something under me that I can stand on. Good evening now, y'all. So long now, y'all. God bless your heart. May the good Lord bless you real good. Clock on the wall says that about all. I've had fun, but Raven's gotta run. But oh, look at the blind Bartimaeus. He's blind physically, but spiritually he could see real good. Oh, when he came to Jesus, Jesus asked him, what will you help me to do? And the Lord healed blind Bartimaeus. I was just like Bartimaeus one day. I was so blind that I could not see. Let me tell you what I did. I came to Jesus just as I was, weary, wanted and sad, had a bowed down head, but I found in him a sweet old resting place, and he has made me glad. Is anybody here glad you got sight? Is anybody here glad you got vision? Let me see you wave your hand. If you're gonna run on and see what the end gonna be, look at your neighbor and say, neighbor, whatever you're doing, don't throw in the towel. Say, neighbor, whatever you do, stay in the rain. Now shake them and rock them, and shake them. Go ahead and shake them and rock them. Rock them and shake them. Shake them and rock them. Rock them and shake them. And tell them these words. We've been made endure for a night. But joy. I said joy. 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 I want it.